speakers, as expected, great speeches. Thank you so much. It's an extraordinary day today. We have, Vinod Chaudhary ju jasto vyakti hununcha yaha, line of ambassadors and UN official, and of course hamro NRNA ko sabai sathiharu, of course hamro chief guest, Right Honorable. I must say Right Honorable. You are still Right Honorable, Mr. Subhash Chandra Nemang. Thank you so much. Hamro invitation lai tole swikarera yaha hunu bhayo, and thank you everybody. Okay, मलाई त टाइम रिस्ट्रिक्सन दिएको छैन, त्यस्तै देखिन्छ, अलिकति अन्याय पनि भयो कि. Anyway, hopefully साथीहरु बाहिर हुनुहुन्न जस्तो लाग्छ, सबै भित्र हुनुहुन्छ. It's exciting. Distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. For more than 2 decades, and for a number of different reasons, thousands of Nepalese left their beloved motherland and migrated to different countries. They migrated and settled in many countries, some exotic destinations such as Africa, Scandinavia, the Caribbean, and South America. There are hardly any places left where Nepalese have not journeyed to. NRNA is attempting to harness the networks along with their skills and expertise for the good of Nepal. यहाँले सुनिहाल्नुभयो, Mr. Donald Payneले भन्नुभयो, एजुकेसनको कुरा गर्नुभयो उहाँले. हामी नेपालीहरु, मैले संसारभरि मैले अपर्च्युनिटी पाएँ नेपाली कम्युनिटीलाई भेट्ने. Through this organization, Nepalis are among other communities highly educated. That is the wealth for the countries where they live, where they work. Like as an example, America, उहाँले भन्नुभयो, अमेरिकालाई बनाएको इमिग्रेन्टहरुले भनेर. Now Nepalis are responsible to make America successful, Australia successful, UK successful. So we have to be really proud that we are making proud to those adopted countries and the communities. In the 70s and 80s, we never thought or could ever imagine this mass migration of Nepali youth would happen. A small proportion of migration is a natural evolution process, but unfortunately a larger proportion has been due to war, internal conflicts, and people looking for better opportunities. The reasons for such wave of movement are not dissimilar to the Irish immigration of the 19th century to America and post-Second World War in Europe, where mass migration took place. Today, America alone has over 300,000 Nepalis, either born or who have made America their home. These numbers are on the rise and will continuously do so. Early in 2000s, in the midst of Maoist conflict in Nepal, the NRNA was established. We believe that the NRNA is a unique organization with distinctive needs of Nepali diaspora. We further believe that no other diaspora has such strong organized networks like this one. Over the last 13-14 years, the organization has achieved much, mainly due to very personal and persistent contributions of single individuals. There are many who have come and gone, but there are many more who continually and relentlessly supporting it. I salute Mr. Upendra Mahato, Dr. Upendra Mahato. He is the one persistently, continually supporting this organization. I cannot imagine, I cannot assure I will continue like him next 13 or 14 years. I cannot guarantee. But I can guarantee he will do so next 15 years or 20 years. The NRNA has grown and reached today's progress due to its supporters, your genuine support and tenacity. The organization has achieved some tangible, incredible outcomes that has had an impact on our compatriots and communities. We talked today, Dr. Arjun Karki mentioned, and some other people mentioned, we have to look after the communities here as well. I'm seeing that, I have seen that all over the world. We're only facing towards Nepal. But we are not looking after, we are not thinking about local communities. That is how we should be moving. That is our responsibility as well. Today, the world we live in is not the same one that existed in, I'm not going too far, in 2000, 15 years ago. Today, the world is completely different from the world it was 15 years ago. The Nepal that we used to live in is not the same. The diaspora communities have changed in many ways. Any notable events force individuals or the organizations to behave in certain ways, to adapt and adjust with the environment and the current need of the communities. This fact was highlighted so clearly after last year's devastating earthquake, where the lives of millions have changed for the worse. For the worse. Again, our priorities as responsible individuals and organizations have changed. Since the earthquake, our priorities have changed. Our priorities, NRNA's priorities have changed. Because we have seen, we have experienced, if we haven't changed, we have to change. The expectations of our communities towards the NRNA has changed in many ways. And so I believe we need to change ourselves too, to meet those expectations. The key issue that previous speakers are all pointing at can be summarized as follows. And also our NCC President, Dr. Paudel, I really appreciate, you starting, I think rightfully, talking about change and so forth. We need to change. It is inevitable. I heard consolidation, coordinated approaches that NRNA should adopt, particularly Mr. Gyanchandra Acharya and Mr. Durga, Bhattarai. Thank you so much for your comments. We need to look at future. We've got a slogan or the theme of the conference, Vision 2020. It sounds good, Vision 2020. Of course, 4 years, it's not a vision stuff. That's why we have put and beyond. And you mentioned about 2030, Nepal's millennium goal. Probably what we are talking is 2030, 2040. That's the thing we are thinking at the moment. So we need to look at future 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years. We need to integrate the second generation. That is important. And we need to make the organization robust and financially sustainable. Thank you, Diju. You started with sustainability. I was a little worried what you're going to say. Thank you so much. My view is that the NRNA can continue to hold its place as a unique diaspora organization, representing hundreds of Nepali communities and nations. Communities and nations. I'm a little bit futuristic on this thing. A mini United Nations of Nepalese, a true partner of Nepal and outside Nepal, local communities. The time has come to broaden our scope. We should not limit our works around Nepali culture and Nepal. In October 2015, in our global convention in Nepal, the convention mandated a development compact to implement the aspirations of NRNA being a global development partner with a long-term vision. You mentioned about declaration, one of you. It must be Dr. Bhattarai, right? I'm going to read this declaration. So, in the context of a new constitution and stability, the priorities are now development, rebuilding and prosperity. The NRNA community pledged to put into use the skills, capital, both financial and emotional, to achieve such socio-economic development. This conference is the beginning of implementation of such vision and to ideate upon to bring that institutional and structural changes for the institution to be able to meet its commitments. Excuse me, त्यो घोषणा बुँदा नम्बर 2 थियो, त्यसलाई म नेपालीमा यहाँहरुलाई सुनाउन चाहन्छु। देश संविधान प्राप्त गरी राजनीतिक स्थिरताको बाटोमा लम्किने प्रयासमा रहेको यस घडीमा, excuse me, my wife, I need your help. Do you have a tissue? एकछिन रिल्याक्स गर्नुहोस् है। मेरो चाहिँ नोज एलर्जी छ कि त्यसैले चाहिँ I don't know when it goes, blows and runs. Thank you so much, and you really rescued me. You know, I'm going to read again this declaration that we did in our global convention. देश संविधान प्राप्त गरी राजनीतिक स्थिरताको, जुन चाहिँ मैले इंग्लिशमा अघि भनिसकेँ, we try to translate that, स्थिरताको बाटोमा लम्किने प्रयासमा रहेको यस घडीमा अबको प्राथमिकता विकास, निर्माण र समृद्धितर्फ हुनुपर्ने तथ्यलाई मध्यनजर गर्दै गैर आवासीय नेपालीहरूले विदेशमा सिकेको सिप, आर्जेको पुँजी र नेपालसँगको भावनात्मक सम्बन्धको सदुपयोग गर्दै विकास र पुनर्निर्माणको कार्यमा सच्चा साझेदार बन्ने र दीर्घकालीन सोच सहितको विकासको साझेदारी सम्झौता, डेभलपमेन्ट कम्प्याक्ट तयार गरी कार्यान्वयनमा ल्याउँदा विकास प्रयासले सार्थकता प्राप्त गर्ने कुरामा सम्मेलन जोड दिन चाहन्छ। हेर्नुस् न नेपाली कस्तो छ, बाफ्रे, नो पोज, एउटा प्याराग्राफ त पुरै एउटा सेन्टेन्स। So we tried to translate, जुन भर्सन मैले यहाँलाई भने, भन्न खोजेको कुरा के रहेछ भनेदेखि, we have a mandate वास्तवमा यो जोइन्ट डिक्लेरेसन हो, फरेन मिनिस्ट्री र हाम्रो बीचको जोइन्ट डिक्लेरेसन हो। यो चाहिँ काइन्ड अफ हिस्टोरिक पनि थियो। यसपाला अनरसिप लिएको थियो फरेन मिनिस्ट्रीले। हामीलाई वास्तवमा कम्प्याक्टमा साइन गर्ने भन्नुभएको थियो। आई गट वर्ड, आई थिङ्क यु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड होइन? कसरी हामी कम्प्याक्टमा साइन गर्छौँ अहिले? वी डोन्ट ह्याभ द क्यापासिटी। हाम्रो एउटा प्रोपर इन्स्टिट्युसनको चाहिँ फर्ममा पनि हामी छैनौँ। सो एटलिस्ट अलिकति केयरफुल्ली हामीले चाहिँ यो एउटा डिक्लेरेसन गर्यौँ। So I'm going to continue now. I understand that each of you have your thoughts. Let us discuss next 2 days, debate and express what our individual ideas and thoughts are. Let us not be limited to what others think, but imagine and talk to one another. But in doing so, make sure that we keep in mind that the core values and process that we have in place for NRNA, we need to remember the initial vision and be guided by this for Nepali by Nepali. If we do this, by the time we leave New Jersey, change will have occurred that direct us clearly. This will be the start of the process which will gain extra momentum for the organization. I indeed hope this will happen. From this discourse, it is hoped that it will result in many prominent personalities and experts becoming more aware of NRNA's works, and will either continue to or will extend their goodwill and generosity, which will help us immensely. I would like to end with a quote from Lord Buddha. Maybe you all know, or some of you, know what I'm going to say. This Lord Buddha's quote. Everything changes. Nothing remains without change. Let this conference be remembered as one that started implementing change. We are talking about the implementation of our one of the declarations, which is I think that was the very significant declaration. We have to take really seriously, and if we can do that, I think we will sustain and we will grow, and we will be a small united nation of all Nepalis. Can you imagine in next 50 years time how the Nepalese communities in America will be like? Our third generation or fourth generation, and Nepalese in Australia, they will be still Nepali background Australians. So United Nations started with 45 or so countries, but this is a unique diaspora community. Why can't we be a small little mini United Nation of all Nepalis? Because they will be different nations with different passports, different backgrounds. God bless America, God bless Nepal, and God bless NRNA. Thank you so much.